Okay, let me check that we're recording. Awesome, recording is live. Okay, problem number 9. Given two numbers represented by two linked lists, write a function that returns sum list. The sum list is a list representation of addition of two input numbers. Okay, what this means is, suppose you have two linked lists, 5 to 4, which represents the number 45, and 5 to 4 to 3, which represents the number 345. You have to return a resultant linked lists 0 to 9 to 3, representing the addition of 45 and 345, the sum being 390. I have defined a class node and a class linked list with functions such as insert and print. Just so we're on the same page of the class that I'm working with, I switched to coding in Python because I had to prepare for an interview that was on Friday that used Python. So I've been switching gears for a few days. Okay. I'll also write the rest of this in Python. And I'll start with the definition of the method. I will accept linked list 1 and linked list 2. It's been very interesting working with Python as opposed to C#. Python is a much less strongly typed language, which provides some freedom but some difficulty as well. Always good to have new challenges. I'll define a few variables here, sum1, power, and current. While current is not null, if one thing that I have to consider is if, let's say this input number had been 5, 0, I have to consider that if the input is 0, then I need to multiply the I need to move everything by one space of 10. So I need to multiply it by 10. Okay, else, if it's just a regular number that's not 0, let me scroll for your readability. Else sum1 equals sum1 plus current.data times 10 raised to the power that I have set. Increment power. Okay, and I have realized that I will also need to take care of power and current here. Even though power won't be used here, power will still be incremented and current will still move on as well. Okay. Once sum1 has been taken care of in linked list 1, I will take care of sum2. Sum2 is initialized to 0. Power is set to 0 after being used here, and current is set to ahead of linked list 2. Again, the same thing happens, which I suppose I could break into a method, but I won't do that right now. So the same exact thing we just discussed is going to be happening with sum2. Okay. And then I'll set up this variable total, which is equal to sum1 plus sum2. I will cast total into a string. And then I will reverse total by using the split functionality starting at the last element of the string. Okay. And then remember I have this insert function which inserts at the end of the list. While current is current.next, current.next is new node. I've previously used an insert function in C# where it inserted at the front. I wanted to make that clear. For digit in total, which remember is now a string, but it's a reverse string. New list. Insert of cast digit into an integer. And then return new list. Okay. Let's go through what we have with perhaps a slightly simpler example. So linked list 1 will be 1 going to 2, linked list 2 will be 3 pointing to 4. It's actually not that much more simple. I don't know why I did that. That will be 21 plus 43 if we represent those backwards. 21 plus 43 is 64. Representing 64, we will have output of 4 pointing to 6. Okay, in goes linked list 1 and linked list 2. Here, sum1 is 0, power is 0, current is the head. Okay, if current.data is 0, no, else sum1 equals 0 plus current.data is 1. 1 times 10 to the 0 is just 1, so sum1 is 1 right now. Power plus equals 1, power is now 1. Current is current.next, current is now 2. Okay, wow, current, 2 is not null, or 2 is not none in Python. It is not 0, else sum1 equals sum1, so sum1 equals 1 plus 2 times 10 to the 1. Sum1 equals 1 plus 2 times 10 to the 1 is 21. Power plus equals 1, current equals current.next, so sum1 is now 21. Power is now 2, and this is now none, which means we do not enter this while loop again. Okay, the same exact thing happens to linked list 2 in this loop. I'll go through it a little bit faster for simplicity's sake. If current data is 0, no, sum2 is going to equal to, first it will equal to 3, power will increment to 1, current will move on to be 4, and sum2 is going to equal 3 plus 4 times 10, which is 3 plus 4 times 10 is 43. So sum2 is now 43. Power is incremented to 2. This one is incremented to none. We don't enter this again. Now we have total equals 21 plus 43, which is 64. We convert this to a string. Now we have the string representation of 64, and we split this string in reverse, which gives us the reverse of the string. For, I think it's called slice, not split. Anyway, for digit in total, so for 4, then for 6, new list dot insert the digit. First we insert 4, then we move on and insert 6. And then the last element is going to need to point to none. So the last element will need to point to none. I'll have to keep thinking about that. But anyway, while I'm thinking, let's discuss the space complexity and the time complexity. Okay, space complexity is constant. I'm only using a few variables and then one total string. So this is big O of 1. Time complexity is big O of, this is fun. So if M is the number of elements in the first list and N is the number of elements in the second list, and then we need to account for how many elements will be in total. Let's say the longer of the two, and let's approximate, let's say the second list will have the longer of the two. So big O of M plus 2N.